Hi everyone, my name is Nurim Raskulova, and today I will tell you about their communications. So each of our action is communication, is a message. Even it could be a colorful ribbon, it could be a pin of cancer awareness, or it could be, what else? It could be a sign, gestures that we usually underestimate and don't pay attention. For example, do you know this sign? Can you show me it? Yeah, K-pop culture. So, and this sign, for example, when you pay respect to your audience. And also we know this one and this one. I hope that they will like my speech. So, about Socrates. I like Socrates' phrase, speak to me so I can see you. What does it mean? It means that even the sound of the voice matters. You know the trick of radio DJs in the morning show when they smile when they performing. Because even the listeners, they don't see them, but they feel this smile. It's changed your message, it makes your voice sound different. So, and what we can say about smile, it's like to put the emoji, the smile at the end of your message. What else? Speak to me so that I can see you. About Socrates. So how it shows you how a person unfolds, what they say about themselves, about others, what makes them laugh. All of this allows to complete the puzzle. It shows who is behind you, to draw their inner world in our minds. For me, I'm always indicative how a person treats women, service, and young people. And adults, of course, whether they laugh at sexist and racist jokes, and in general, what they say and promise. Words should reflect your actions. Personally, for me, if they differ from your deeds, then your words mean nothing. I never ask anything, for example, do a favor and then to promise a chocolate bar. I never do this, and I dislike when somebody asks me something and then promise chocolate that I'll never see again. Is there any people in the audience who also promises the chocolates and never brings? Okay, so, and also I'm against the stereotypical phrase, a man said and a man did. I think that it should apply to everyone, and everyone should follow their words, not just representative of particular gender. Even in small matters, it's possible and desirable to remember what you promise, because you said it. By the way, I want to bring that you always should follow your thoughts, and your deeds should always follow your words. So I can say that I'm a person of my word, someone who deserves the trust. And I think that to be in the circle of trust, it's a nice thing, nice quality. So, the next one. What can I say about interaction, you and the people? Communication encompasses so much things. So much that sometimes it's strange how we fail to understand each other. We talk the same language, cannot find the common ground. If we set aside moments of ambition, the search for compromise and unwillingness to yield, there is always a solution to be found and to be understood by other side. Emotional intelligence always plays a significant role in a communication, helping to gauge the interlocutor. For example, journalists, they usually play this trick. They try to mirror the posture of their interviewer. It means that you try to be on the same page, on the same vibe, to provide support, and then what message, to understand what message the other party wants to convey, and how their reaction is interpreted. Empathy is usually an innate quality, but it can be developed by listening and attentively and analyze the words of your opponent. Not without reason among journalists, this recommendation is usually used, but it also NLP thing that helps you to find the friends, to have some open conversation, and to make some bridges. For example, if somebody always distracted by watching his watch, always trying to interrupt you and hurry up, it's also a message to you. The whole art of interviewing lies in how to uncover the interview. All of this necessary connect with someone to get to know them better, and various masks and layers to find common ground, and perhaps sometimes to find new friends. When I worked in the television, I was TV host for morning show, I always was live on air. It means that everything you do, how you look, what is written on your face, what you tell, everything is live and broadcasted. And it carries all weight that now and is not the subject for editing. There is no room for error. So everybody knows that you are making some mistakes. And it was necessary to find an approach with each of the guests. It always was helpful to find something in a person that you like, that you want to highlight, and maybe to support them in different aspects. So you should try to find something that you like in a person, something that makes you respect him. The goal is to leave the viewers and the guest with the best impression of your collaboration, and the viewers and both the guests, they should enjoy the television broadcast. You know, they say that introvert and extrovert friend who occasionally, so every introvert has extrovert friend who always try to pull him out of his shelf, bring him to the party, and make him enjoy this party, even if his friend is introvert. Let him off steam, so sometimes he pull attention to himself, so introvert has opportunity to take the box of his social life. And as the saying goes, opposites attract. So, and we can't tell about communication without telling about social media. There is a key phrase in Central Asia that connection matters. But it's not only your relatives or neighbors, they encompasses all your acquaintances and contacts, what you have managed to establish and to maintain. Nowadays, our social networks speak for us more than anything else. Do you have a social accounts in Instagram and Facebook? Can you raise your hands? Okay, cool. I also have it. So, I wanted to ask, so we also try to create some false expression. Do you usually only post the moments, happy moments of your life, only the best looks, only the aesthetic food when you're eating something, only when you have a good makeup, only when your boyfriend wears some good t-shirt or some, I don't know, have also the good matching with you, some costume, some look? Why? To create the impression that you have a happy, fulfilling life, that everything is cool, to look no worse than others, for example, for bloggers, to ensure that the image is on par and not worse than others. So does it resemble your avatar? So who you are, in fact? Do you correspond to the image that you built in the social media? In popular psychology, they usually say that commonly believed that selfies that we also like me to are taken by self-absorbed narcissists, maybe. That it's a social phenomenon. Young, successful, attractive, smiling people, they try to bring this image, and we try to be like them. So it means that we also try to present ourselves in that light. Typically, in such a photos, a person seeks to embellish their reality for themselves and those who are around them. Modern communication tools, such as social networks, mobile applications, allow us to connect and to receive information from different people, from anywhere in the world. However, it's important to remember that we shouldn't be perfect. We are who we are. So with the increase of information and a lot of posts, a lot of different trends, we try to learn filter content, but we still consuming information. What does it mean? It's time to be different, to think different, and sometimes it's also to look different. And we desire to be heard, and sometimes this race for popularity, it brings us some discomfort. It's really difficult to always to be a false, a fake, always try to bring this perfect picture. But downside such a communication with the world around is that it fosters to desire to be liked by someone. We also want that, like me, please send me this, like, share this post, and so on and so forth. In the pursuit of others' approval, we can lose our integrity and some uniqueness. We try to be like someone else. And we forgot that we have some unique things in ourselves. For example, did you see Black Mirror? Raise your hand. Who knows it? I like this popular TV show. So there are also some dependence on the social media. So how to find balance in the world of new communications, we can say. The current trend remains storytelling, which is also fine, which often encounter with bloggers because they're so professional. It's a balance between informational presentation and sometimes selling, a free storytelling, native advertising, when you don't need to push your message, when you have some good story, engaging, and sometimes hooking the reader. Stories are very easy to listen to perceive, and to relate. We learned this from our childhood, Masha and Medvedi and so on and so forth, Kolobok and others. Good stories make you want to read to the end. I believe that you shouldn't possess some special qualities to be a good storyteller. You don't need to be a writer or a teacher or something like this. You should be you. You need to know what, why, and whom you are speaking. I believe it's very important to establish bridges with your audience, introduce them to yourself, build the right communication, and speak the same language as your audience. What I'm trying to do with you now. And also, in my opinion, it's necessary to make maximum effort to contribute socially in your communication, but it's my personal point of view. And not to stand aside from current social issues. I see my mission in supporting younger generation, sharing my advice and insights. I want you to learn from mine, from others' mistakes and faults, just to economize some time and not to make the same mistakes. There is no ceiling and there is no point to trying to look perfect and to build impeccable image because you face with each other in the real life. But you also have a choice not to communicate, just to close, stay alone if you need time to recharge, but be on your own. No is also an answer, you know it. You can grow with the audience, and it's okay, either clothing of them, or invite them to your house, show your family, and so on and so forth. Everything depends on you. But you should always know where is your boundaries. You should always set these boundaries. Each of us has their own unique life experience that only you can share, the lessons that only you have, and learned under different circumstances and conditions. And this is your advantage, your team, and you fuel the engine of your story. Your journey is unique because no one has walked this path that you have trodden. You've drawn your conclusion from faults and mistakes, and you should share that light that you have inside, even if it's full of different mistakes. So it's important to know what is your main topic. And it's important to remember that at first, words have power, words can hurt, and words can save and heal. You can support the weak and unfairly victimized. You can raise your voice and help others to raise your voice. You can support some vulnerable audience, but I hope that you will find some strength inside you and you'll raise your voice and make this world better. You will find some balance with yourself, with pressure from social media, with others' popularity, and you will find some harmony that will help you to bring something good in this world and make this world better. Thank you.